They want the strikeout. 0-2. Folks rise to their feet. Got him! A career-high 11 strikeouts, Justin Steele.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago, coming from the 606 Media Studios. This is the TCSF podcast with Big Z. Oh boy. It's been a wonderful week. Episode 159 is brought to you by 606 Media, True Chicago sports fans, and Great Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to greatclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt and search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Go and get your official shirts now. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am sorry for the delay. It was Labor Day weekend and it was jam-packed full of activities. So I apologize for the podcast being one day late. It won't happen again. But, life gets in the way sometimes. And, it was a really busy Labor Day weekend. We'll get into that in a second. But welcome to the show. If it's your first time or a long-time listener, please remember, hit that subscribe button. Smash it. Hit that notify button and go ahead and give us a review on your listening app. Give us 5 stars. You can find us on Facebook at True Chicago Fans. You can find us on IG at True Chicago Sports Fans, at 606 Media Group as well, and at Big Z _606 Media Group. Those are all of our handles right now. And don't forget, you can support the show with a monthly subscription at Anchor / True Chicago Sports Fans. Go over there and hit the support button, and you can subscribe for as little as 99 cents a month. Again, I apologize. The days got away with me. And also, it was like my first day of work on Tuesday, which is when I'm recording. It is literally 11:52 on a Tuesday night. It's been a crazy week. From this, hanging out with the 606 fam, the No Water Weekend podcast, and myself, went to the White Sox game on a Friday. We didn't care if they won. We didn't care. We were sitting 5th row, great seats, baseball, Polishes and hot dogs with grilled onions on them, and lots of adult beverages. So it was a good time. So shout out to Sean for hooking us up with those tickets. We did pregame at Turtles. And if you don't know about Turtles, go find out for yourself. Let's see. This Saturday, I went to go see our friend of the show, Ken Gar. He was like the second headliner for Chris Estrada from the show on Hulu, That Fool. Great, funny show. Chris was super humble, was able to, did the meet and greet and was really receptive to everything. It was a super nice conversation and everything. And then I hung out with Ken Gar after the show. We little post comedy session out there. So we had a good time. And then Sunday I was back at Guaranteed Rate Field for the White Sox game and then tailgated from about 10:45 until start time, which is 1:10. Way too much sun. It was super hot here in Chicago. Definitely way too much sun. I decided to not drink beer that day, and I did the high noons, and I don't think that was a good idea. I ended up from the White Sox game getting home and just knocking out, just completely drained from the sun. And then I got to hang out with my guy Alex late night for a beer, and late nights turned into early morning. So not a good combination to do, especially because Monday, yes, this Monday, which was Labor Day, I had a bowling tournament. Yes, you heard that right. Getting home late, 4 or 5 in the morning, waking up around 7:30, 8 o'clock, getting to the bowling alley at about 9 o'clock when the tournament started at 10. And there was about, I want to say 35, 40 teams. And your boy and his, Louis, shout out Louis, shout out to Eric. It was a trios. And I didn't think we made it. I didn't think we made the playoffs. And sure enough, we did. And then we took out the first opponent. And, we were going for the championship. But we lost in the semifinals by 31 pins. Very disappointing. Very disappointing because there was a lot of money involved in that pot. So it's an improvement. Last year we finished 31st, and this year we finished 4th. So it's a huge improvement. So next year, Labor Day, we're taking that title. We're definitely taking that title. So exhausted, literally exhausting weekend. I think I capped off that day, Monday, Labor Day, with hanging out with some friends over in the West Loop. I got invited to a pool section. People have pools in their building, so I was able to hang out there for a little bit. I was exhausted, came home, was not able to record the show. So sorry about that again. But I was literally exhausted, and I had to get ready for the first day of work. Today was my first day of work with kids. And let's just say there's no AC in the gym. And it is hot. Not only am I going from not doing much activity besides bowling to 10 to 12,000 steps, and it's about 95 degrees in the gym. So, exhausting. Oh, yes. And the Tuesday Bowling League started today as well. Wow. And that bowling alley was hot as balls. Wow. So I am exhausted, but the show must go on, and I need to be on the podcast for my listeners who are faithful. So thank you. Shout out to Edwin, who sent me a message like, hey man, where's the episode? It's going to be out there. It'll be out there Wednesday morning instead of Tuesday morning, and I apologize one last time. And you know what? It's not as easy as it looks, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so let's get into it. In this episode, the Cubs continue. Yes, they continue to win. And an impressive outing by the man of Steele, as you heard in the beginning of the show. The White Sox continue to royally embarrass themselves. And yes, it's finally here. It is Bears season. We're all excited for the Bears versus the Packers. But will the Bears be at full strength? And that's the biggest question, right? All that and much more with Stirring the Pot and what you're looking at. So let's go. Let's start off with baseball in 3 up and 3 down.
I think I'll perplex him with my slow ball.
1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
All right, again, it is 11:57 as I'm recording. The Cubs just beat the Giants, so they're 75 and 64. I think they're 2 games out of. Let's look at that. Yeah, 2.5 games out of first place in the Central. So the Brew Crew at 77 and 61, and the Cubs are at 75 and 64. Cubs are last 10 are 7 and 3. Brewers are 6 and 4. It's tight. Now, all the Cub fans, I am super happy for you. You have a fun, exciting team that galvanized together before the trade deadline and did what they have to do to win, to make sure that you had a playoff push. Justin Steele, check that man's jersey right underneath it. I'm pretty sure he's got a big S on it. He's got a huge S on there. This man is lights out. He is on pace to take out the Cy Young. Him and Blake Snell are neck to neck. So Steele's got about 3 more starts. And if he can dominate 2 out of 3, put it in the bag. Put it in the bag. It is a done deal. If Steele gets 2 quality, good starts, put it in the bag. Because the Padres are hot garbage. I don't know who's a bigger disappointment. The White Sox, the Padres, the Mets, the Yankees. They're all in the same bag of bull. I digress on that. The Cubs are chasing down a playoff spot as this is exciting. It's so exciting to see this team because they were not supposed to be this good. They were supposed to be a little bit over 500. they're ahead of what they should be. I know Cub fans are excited. I know you're giving it to the White Sox fan. Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, enjoy your success. Leave the White Sox fans alone. They're the ones with the bags, the paper bags over their heads. Hopefully it's paper, not plastic. And let them be. Let them be. They're going through grief. Let them go through the process, all the different stages. Leave them alone. I'm just saying, leave them alone. They don't need to kick or beat a dead horse. All right, let them be. Let them grieve. All right, so we got Blake Snell 12-9. We got Justin Steele 16-3. Innings pitched 155 go to Snell, 152 for Steele. ERA 2.50 for Snell, 2.55 for Steele. WHIP 1.25 for Steele, 1.14. Wow. Ks 201 for Snell, 153 for Steele. Walks per 9, 5.17 for Snell. He gives up 5 walks per 9 innings. That's insane. And Justin Steele's at 1.97. So if you are on a betting app, if you're subscribed to a betting app, put your money on Justin Steele right now. As of earlier this morning, when I checked, it was plus 300 for him to win it. I mean, who wouldn't want to throw $25 on that? It's a good bet. It's a good bet. Oh boy. So this past weekend with Justin Steele, with a game that has wild card implications, Steele delivered his best outing of his career, setting career marks in strikeouts with 12, innings with 8, and just allowed 2 hits, 2 walks, and outdueling a fellow Cy Young candidate in Logan Webb. He's about 3rd or 4th. As the Cubs beat the Giants 4-0. He said, "It feels awful. It feels awesome. Just one of them games. You just want to go pitch all day. You just want to keep going out there." The lefty lowered his ERA to 2.56, narrowly trailing Snell, who's 2.50, and ranks 7th in WHIP and 2nd quality starts behind Webb's 20, and tied for 1st in wins. I'm telling you right now, these Cubs are sneaky good. If they get into a playoff spot, whether it's wild card or the division, they have a chance to make some noise. With Steele, maybe the professor, if Stroman comes back and maybe gets 1 or 2 starts, maybe you have him as your number 3. I know the professor pitches better at home than he does away, but Steele's got to be your number 1. You got to take that first game. Got to take that first game. All right. Checking on any other Cubs news. Let's see. The Cubs just won 11-8. They put some runs up. That's 11 runs. Like this Cubs team can put up some runs. If the pitching and the bullpen can just be consistent, this offense can outscore a lot of these teams. Now the playoffs is completely different. It's all about pitching. So we need this pitching staff to pull it all together. Pull up, your shoes, your bootstraps, tie them up, put your big boy panties on, rub your favorite troll, and get going. This team can make a stamp for themselves. You're looking at playing the Braves, maybe the Phillies in a wild card, or maybe the Brewers. You got the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. Besides the Dodgers and the Braves, the other teams you could take out. Definitely can take those other teams out. You're going to have to pay a lot of these players coming up soon, especially Jock Peterson, who's that 1-year prove-it deal. He's going to earn a pretty penny. Hopefully the Cubs can keep him, because I know the White Sox don't have money to spend. So, Cub fans, congratulate you. Keep pushing. Keep supporting that team. Keep watching. Keep listening on the radio. And you know what? Keep betting on the Cubs. They're winning. They're a winning ball club. They really are. They galvanized right before the deadline and made the organization ad, and they've shown that they're ready. Are they World Series contenders? Probably not. Can they make some noise in the playoffs? Oh yeah, definitely make some noise. They can take a series of 5 or 7 games. 100%. This team is really, really good. Fun to watch. All right, on the opposite side of town, my Chicago White Sox. Oh my God. They continue to free fall. On Monday, they got their ass whooped 12-1. I didn't even watch the game. It's getting to the point because I've watched, what is it, 162 minus 30 minus 4. I've watched about 110 games, 115 games. And now it is getting to a point where a diehard Sox fan is like, there's no need to watch this product. It is despicable. 1 run yesterday, giving up 12. That was Monday. Today they lost 6-7 to Kansas City again. And if I read that correctly, they lost on a balk. Who does that? Like, this team is finding the most obscure ways to lose games. You're the besides the Athletics, who are just a complete mess because they don't want to spend any money. That city's gonna lose another team. But the White Sox, the Padres, and the Yankees, they're competing for. What the fuck are you doing? Not only did you hire Chris Getz with no track record, and he says, "Oh, there's gonna be change. I'm different from everybody else." Jerry Reinsdorf hired him because that would speed up the process on the turnaround, because he knows the system and he knows the players. And I get everyone's argument. Believe me, and I was the first one with the bullhorn saying he hasn't developed anybody. But I'm playing devil's advocate here. He did not draft none of that talent that's been coming through the minors. None of that's been drafted by him. His job was to develop the talent that's there. And you can't make chicken salad out of chicken shit. Let's just be honest. Yes, I understand that everyone in the major leagues that came to the minor leagues was still under that umbrella, but they were all through trades or free agent signings through the international pool. So, yeah, he never developed anybody that was there. They came through someone else's system. It's really hard to be a White Sox fan. So if you see a White Sox fan, go and give them a hug. Buy them a beer and a shot. They need that. All right? So go over there and be compassionate. Whether you're a Cubs fan or a different baseball team fan, go and give your White Sox friend a hug. Make sure they're okay. Text them, call them. Yeah, take them out to dinner. Do something nice for them. Because it's so bad on the South Side. It is ridiculous on the South Side. They're 53-86. They're on pace to lose 100 games. This team was slated to win 88. And they're about to lose 100 games, and they're not trying to tank. There's so much talent on this team that is so underperforming. And Chris Getz said on his press conference, "Oh, Pedro Grifol is the manager next year. Players need to know who their manager is." The fuck they do. Most of this team will not be here next year. What the fuck are you doing by declaring Pedro Grifol is going to be here? What that tells me is they're going to have another losing season next year. So if you're a season ticket holder, cancel that shit. Because you can walk up to the box office and get a ticket for $1. It is pointless to continue to support this team that does not spend money on the field and does not respect its fans. We have such a passionate fandom who supports this team. But how long are you going to abuse their fans? It is ridiculous. Prior to Monday's game, the last time a team gave up 12 runs to the Royals and scored 1 or fewer runs and had no walks was 35 years ago. The White Sox had no walks on Monday. Not one. That's how far, like, they're making records at this point. Next year, this offseason, or even in a trade deadline, look for Dylan Cease and Tim Anderson to be traded. Tim Anderson has a $12 or $14 million option. Cease still has a couple years on there. Cease is a good pitcher. You can get some stuff for him. I know Chris Getz said there's no untouchables. Yes, there is. Luis Robert. If Ohtani didn't have his great season, it'd be Luis Robert that would be the MVP. Anybody else on this team, they got to go. The parking attendants, the food vendors, the lady that sells the cotton candy. Everybody's got to go clean fucking house. Oh, my God. The White Sox announced that they have claimed right-hander Johan Ramirez off the waivers from the Pirates. The righty will report to AAA Charlotte. Chicago's 40-man roster is now at 39. Ramirez, who is 28, generally combined high strikeout with ground ball tallies in his career, while also giving out a fair share of walks in 34 and a third innings. For the Pirates, he had a 3.67 earned run average, striking out 20% of his batters faced and walking 9% and keeping the ball on the ground at 59% clip. In 22 and a third innings at the AAA level, he had a 4.43 ERA, 33 strikeout rate, 12% walk rate, and 54% at ground ball rate. So there's a couple roster moves because the White Sox are making news all over the place. They had no options left for Selby Zavala, so they DFA'd him. So he's got to pass through everything, and I don't think anybody's going to pick him up. So he might report to Charlotte maybe in a couple days. But he's got no options. Brent Honeywell Jr. also out of options and got DFA'd. I don't understand. There is no clear path for this White Sox team but to be a bigger disappointment. And if you're a White Sox fan, listen to this and you're like, man, you're being so negative. Fuck you. I'm tired of it. Stop with the blinders on. I understand your passion. I have it too. But I'm sick of this abuse from this organization. I still will wear my White Sox gear loud and proud. But for me, I've adopted a second team over the years because I'm tired of it. And it's the LA Dodgers. So go Dodgers. All right. It is just like time has run out on the White Sox season. It is time to go to commercial break. We'll be right back with 3 and out.
I think I'll perplex him with my slow ball.
1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride. So do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15.
For 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Hey, this is comedian Ken Garr, and I was just a guest on the True Chicago Sports Fans podcast with Big Earl and G-Money and a bunch of weirdos. So tune in.
Watch your mouth, cabrón.
Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast with Big Z. Are you excited for Bears football? I am. This is 3 and out. All All right, this past weekend, Labor Day week, was the last time without any Bears football for a while, 17 weeks of this. And you know what? There's not much to say. Point number one, Justin Fields, you've got to be able to throw the ball, make some decent passes. If you're above average quarterback, we're going to kill. That's all I need you to do is be an above average quarterback. I don't need you running for 2,000 yards. I don't need you running for 1,000 yards. 700. Let's cap it there. Let the rest of the talent flourish. What I mean by that, use Mooney, use Claypool, use your number one receiver, use your number two. 1 + 2 = 6. Use your tight ends, use your screens, use your running backs. Let everybody else take them hits. We need you on the field. Take your time, see what you got. If you got nothing, chuck it. I don't need you getting hit because was it Bagnett and Nathan Peterman, our backups? Peterman's a journeyman, and Bagnett, whatever his name is, he's an undrafted rookie. He looked good in preseason, but everybody loves a backup quarterback. He looked good. He impressed me. But he's also playing against 3s and 4s. So take that with a grain of salt. All right? So don't be over here, rooting for that backup quarterback, and then when you get him, you can't produce. I'm not saying the kid ain't good. I'm just saying he needs a little bit more seasoning, a little more time in the oven. And Justin Fields, this is your year to flourish. That's what I need you to do. Bears secondary looks good. Linebackers, pass rush, offensive line, there's improvement in all those areas, but they're not world beaters. I got into it a couple weeks ago, about 3-4 weeks ago, at a bar. Hey, what do you think of the Bears? I go 7, maybe 9 games. You're fucking stupid. You're crazy. They're going to win 12. What kind of drugs he was doing, they must have been really good. No way in hell. 7 as your baseline. Improving from 3 to 7. It's a good start. 9, if everything bounces their way. 10, bonus. That's everybody healthy and beating the teams you're supposed to beat. It's not going to be easy. There's a lot of uncertainty with a lot of players that were, quote unquote, hurt, or they're mending injuries. The Packer game is not going to be as easy as everybody thinks it is. They have a pretty good defense. The young quarterback they have on their side is decent. So just don't take this for granted. Don't get overconfident. All right, don't get your feelings hurt. Do I expect the Bears to win this game? 100%. 27-24. I think it'll be close. But if the Bears lose this home opener against the Packers, it is not going to be a pretty game the next week after that in Tampa against the Buccaneers. It's supposed to be 85 plus with humidity. These players are going to gas out. They're going to be sucking on oxygen. And you can easily lose game 2. And now you're down 0-2 going to play the Chiefs. And we know we don't have that firepower to keep up with the Chiefs. So now you're 0-3 against the upcoming Broncos with the new quarterback well, not new quarterback, but a new coach and Russell Wilson with Sean Payton, the quarterback whisperer. You can easily be 0-4 in the first 4 weeks. But you have to beat the Packers to go to the Bucs and win that game. The Chiefs game, I think that's a loss. The Broncos game is a toss-up. Depends on what team shows up and if everybody's healthy. You can easily be 3-1 after 4 games, or you can easily be 0-4. That's the NFL for you, right? We had a lot of news with Brisker. You had a lot of news with Justin Fields about beating Green Bay, and they hate Green Bay as a city. I just need these guys to focus on football and beating Green Bay, beating Tampa, trying to beat Kansas City. We beat the 49ers last year. It's possible. I just need them to focus on the game at hand and their job at hand, what they're supposed to do. Simple as that. If everyone does their job, executes to the best of their ability, we have a chance because we have a lot of talent. A lot of talent. Let's see. Any other news in Bears? Not really. Not really. But expect might do an emergency podcast. We'll see. We'll see. It is short and sweet with the Bears because there's not a lot of news. All right. Once there's news, we'll have Ivan back on, and he will break down everything from the Bears film, and we'll get you a great breakdown. Ivan Vargas is going to definitely do us a service in breaking down the Bears. All right, everybody, it is time to punt this segment and go over to commercial break. We'll be right back with Stir in the Pot and a word from our sponsors.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride. So do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15.
For 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
What up? It's Martin Moreno, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans Podcast.
Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast with Big Z. It's that time again, people. You know what time it is. It's time for Stirring the Pot. All right, today I just saw in the news as I'm going to work that it was National Cheese Pizza Day. I don't know about you, but I can't remember the last time I just had a cheese pizza. Not only am I getting, in my older age, long in the tooth, but I'm getting more lactose intolerant as years go on. I did have pizza today, funny enough. After work, I stopped at Bartoli's in the Westtown location. Shout out to Brian. And I had a deep dish sausage, which was phenomenal. Unfortunately, she gave me the smallest piece out of the pie. Excuse me. And I also picked up a thin slice of pepperoni. I have never tried their pepperoni. The sausage, deep dish, phenomenal. 10 out of 10. The pepperoni thin slice, maybe a 6. Well, 5.5. 5.5. Maybe it was just me. Maybe the pepperoni is a little salty on my side, but I like my pepperoni crunchy. So, but their thin slice of sausage, phenomenal. But I don't know. Are you a cheese pizza connoisseur? I know Dave from Barstool does that, right? He goes from pizza place and tries out their cheese pizza. That's a no for me. I can't remember the last time I had cheese pizza. I need some protein on it. Maybe some veggies on it. Why not? Let me know, are you a cheese pizza connoisseur? Is that what you just eat? Cheese pizza. Do you eat like a 3-year-old? I'm joking, people. I'm joking. All right, hit me up on the DMs. Let me know if you're a cheese pizza or what you put on your pizza. What are your toppings? What is your go-to? Are you a sausage, green pepper, onions? You put mushrooms. You put anchovies. Let me know what you put on your pizza. All right? That's always controversial. Always. All right, before we get out of here, what you looking at? What are you watching that isn't sports? Like I said, it's been a fucking crazy week. Nothing back to back. And it's always like that. When I have limited amount of time, everything's crammed together. But I did watch Winning Time as I was falling asleep. The newest episode of Winning Time on HBO. That show is so good. So good. And the actors are really good in it. If you have not seen it, it's the depiction of the Lakers and their championship run with Magic Johnson. Great show. Funny. Insightful. Now it is dramatized a little bit, but I guarantee you will like it. It's on season 2. If you're asking, yes, I did finish Flash. I literally would fall asleep watching some of these episodes because it was like so repetitious. Here's a villain that's threatening. Okay, the Flash is gonna beat them in some way or somehow. This lasted 6 seasons, way too long. I think it was 10 seasons. 6 seasons to way too long. They could have condensed it, but it was a WB show. It was meant for a teenage bopper kind of audience. I get it. I watched it just to do my due diligence. I'm pretty sure I skipped over some episodes because I fell asleep through a lot of it. But if you like corny DC kind of stuff, go ahead. But there is a lot of stuff that was relevant to the comics, the DC Flashpoints, Other Worlds or something like that it was called. There's a couple good episodes or a series of episodes that were really good. So do what you will with that information. I'm halfway through the Kurt Angle documentary on Peacock. That is phenomenal because he was an Olympic wrestler, and he talks about how he broke his neck. So you actually see the film where he's wrestling, and you can see where he breaks his neck, and he goes over it and how he heard a crunch, and he couldn't feel, his right side or whatever it was, and then how he breaks his neck 3 more times while being a professional wrestler. But I'm halfway through that. It is a great documentary, even if you have not been a wrestling fan. That's still a great documentary because it does about almost an hour before he goes into professional wrestling. So definitely check that out. Lastly, again, I've been watching a lot of documentaries. Beyond the Mat, I think that's called. Yeah, it's a documentary season on season 4. I watched the Doink the Clown one, the Abdullah the Butcher. There's like a whole series of this season. It's pretty good. Unfortunately, they are very tragic because these wrestlers they put their bodies on the line and they choose to take on substance, which is alcohol and many, many drugs. And that ends up biting them in the ass. So they're very interesting stories behind, the wrestlers of the 80s and 90s and, and probably even further. But great documentary series. Is narrated by Chris Jericho. All right, y'all, that is it for today. Thank you for listening. A big thank you to our sponsor, 606 Media, true Chicago sports fans at Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 at the checkout for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Get your shirts now. Check out the rest of the 606 Media lineup, the newest show in the 606 family. It is the No Water in the Weekend podcast with Steven and Sean. It is a pop culture forward podcast that dabbles in funny trivia, film, television, music, and Chicago-centric news and happenings. New episodes every Monday. So after you listen to this, go listen to No Water in the Weekend and, laugh your butt off. I'm on there pretty, a lot. I'm on there a lot, probably like every other week. So check it out. It is a good show. Shout out to Ronesh, Panic, and Serious Beats for the custom-made beats we played on today's show. Check out paniconthebeat.com for your Merman merch and gear. Check us out on social media. You can find us at TCSF Pod on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook, IG, and Spotify. You can reach us out on email. We want to hear from you. If you're listening to us on the app, go ahead and give us a 5-star review. Let other listeners know what you love about the show. If you have some criticism, DM me. I am open to criticism. If you don't like something, you want to argue with me, DM me. Let's do this. Let's have that conversation. All right, y'all. I am Big Z, and we'll see you next time for episode 160. And until then, be good to each other for the love of sports.
A few moments later.
You have a lot of incest.
That's real.
Shut your mouth.
Lover boy.
Nature versus nurture, Lodge. Nature always wins.
I think he's on steroids.
Hasta luego, amigos. That's all. I shouldn't have those artichoke poppers.